heels. Everyone to the line of scrimmage. If he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and plays. From the gun, it's Bortles. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. Dante Hightower coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
The Patriots send out their punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Patriots to take over on offense. They're led out by a man who started more Super Bowls than anyone in NFL history, the great Tom Brady.
I can't help but admire the career Tom Brady has had. The numbers are off the charts. The Super Bowl championships and rings, we know that they are incredible. But how about the durability? Had one season that he missed, most of that season because of a knee injury. The rest of the time, he answers the bell and wills his team to victory more times than not. And we keep hearing from people who are waiting to see the drop-off in his play. I'd quit worrying about it. I'd quit looking for it. He says he wants to play until he's 45. Is there any reason to doubt him? His skills have shown no sign of declining.
Brady and the Patriots now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They go play action for White. Now it's Brady. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Well, someone came to play today.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. We heard about it all week, didn't we? Especially when we visited practice. He thought he had a good matchup in front of him, and he's taking full advantage right now.
On play action, it's Brady going deep here for Edelman. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
It's fielded at the 4. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
First carry for T.J. Yeldon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the penalty erases their earlier loss. Now it's 2nd and 8. Shotgun now for Bortles. Throw left side, complete to his receiver, Westbrook. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his pass incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And that'll bring up second down. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
Let's take a look at tight end Austin Seferian-Jenkins, or ASJ as his friends and all announcers like to call him, because it's a whole lot easier. Second tight end drafted in 2014, but production was really lacking until 2017 with the New York Jets. Had 50 catches, which was more in his 2+ combined years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He can't get him down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. Defensively, here are the starters for New England. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago. And last week in that victory, they were pretty good. Probably a pretty easy film session, I would imagine.
And after a performance like that, so many people think you just roll into film, take your popcorn, kick back, and enjoy the show because they played well. I can just tell you from experience, after a win is when coaches come down on you harder, because they want to emphasize all the mistakes that happen. Because you won, you're in a good mood. They want to bring you back to earth. Oftentimes you walk out of there and you ask your teammate, did we win last week?
So my assumption was wrong. I learned something. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Now the Patriots offense, they worked their way back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play, but you know there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
On 2nd down, here's Brady. This is White on the screen. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. And he completes it to Westbrook. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. Fights free at the 5, right around the 6. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well. Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here.
Omaha.
To throw, it's Bortles. And it's caught. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Austin Safarian-Jenkins from 6 yards away. And the Jaguars add on to their lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Josh Lambo now for the point after. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll run with Gillisley. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Wait! Hey, 4 down. Wait, 20! Wait, 20! Alert! 20!
Here's Gillisley. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Brady now on 1st down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Okay, some people call it the shuffle pass. Some people call it a shovel pass, but this worked really well. And it's hard to do in the NFL because of the big bodies that tend to clog up the middle of the field. But the execution was excellent there, able to get it done and get upfield for big yardage.
They'll run it here. This is James White. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now Brady on the bootleg. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
New England on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Shotgun now for Brady. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Bortles on the give to Fournette. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense... had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fielded at the 20. Able to spin free. And now running right through it. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Patriots take over. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here, losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Now Gillisley. And an alley to run. Accelerating, and off he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Mike Gillisley, 53 yards. And the Patriots have cut it back within a score. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on 3rd down, doesn't matter how far they need for a first down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, pick up the first down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They'll start out on the ground. It's T.J. Yeldon. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, here's Bortles. Lee's got it over the middle. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Bortles gives to Yeldon on the draw. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now Bortles throwing on second down. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
The Jaguars on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Bortles to throw. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Green 80.
On first down, Bortles. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. And before the second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Green 80.
A handoff to Fournette. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Green 80.
So it's on to halftime of this AFC. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Now Brady. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Brady. And right side, caught. Hogan. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. New England on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Let's go on. No, 66. Alert. 6 guys.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft it.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And he is backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll force upon them a 3rd and 14. Play action. Now it's Brady. And Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
And this is going to be incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
This is Gillislee. And he'll get this up to about the 40. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Off the bootleg. Brady. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well.
Well, there it is. Brady connecting with Gronk, but at this stage of the game, this is kind of late for them. I'm used to this happening right out of the gate.
Yeah, we were thinking we would see this per usual. 1st quarter, definitely 2nd quarter, but not the case.
And their offense not moving the ball like they normally do. They're losing the game. Those two need to get together and fast.
That throw by Brady incomplete. Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10.
Wait, 20. Wide, 80.
They fake the handoff. Now Brady. Right side, that's complete to Gronkowski. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down. Yes, Brady to Gronk. You think these two are in sync?
Without a doubt. And look, they both understand what they can do for each other. Gronk knows if he gets open, the ball's going to be there. And Tom Brady knows what a great security blanket Gronk is. When all else fails, you find big 87.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On play action, now Brady. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now a play fake. Brady. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Bortles going to run the draw with Fournette. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now Bortles, wide open receiver complete. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So the Patriots coming out now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Malik Jackson there to make the stop.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him. Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Green 80.
get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now Bortles. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A gain of 6 there on first. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
380.
Bortles now on the option left side. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. And he gets this one all the way up to the 24. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got the artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Brady. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On play action, it's Brady. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for New England. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go, and move on to the next series.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Call it a gain of 5. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Bortles. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. picked off by Jason McCourty, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
They go play action here on first down. This is Gronkowski. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Rob Gronkowski, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots can take the lead with the extra point. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Gronkowski now out to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, Blake Bortles marches back onto the field with his offense. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only one score down.
Yeah, true. I mean, we could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Bortles. This is Yeldon on the dump off. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Bortles going to throw. And complete over the middle, Safarian Jenkins. Bortles to the former Jets, Safarian Jenkins for the Jags' first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Throwing is Bortles. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. To throw is Bortles, and that's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
That fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. Time for a break. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. Now Bortles, gotta have this one. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. On 2nd down, Michelle. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. A give. This is Michelle. He finds some open field here. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Now a 1st down carry. It's Michelle fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. But he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England 1st down. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. And he's going to lose yard at 25. And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough, tough way for it to end.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough.